In this video, I'm gonna be finding rocks, cutting rocks, and polishing rocks. And as you can tell by our current location, we're starting with part 1, finding rocks. So we're on a North Shore beach on Lake Superior, and I've been waiting in the lake a little bit for about 10-15 minutes, finding nothing. So I've been looking up here for about 5 minutes, and I've actually found some good stuff. And in those 5 minutes, this is what I found. Actually, some good cutters. So instead of wading in deeper water today, I'm gonna be wading in shallow water looking for stuff like this. Great potential for cutters. That is purple, that is amethyst. This is a funky nodule that I cannot wait to see what's hiding inside. Same with this guy. So let's get back in the lake and see what we can find. Oh, I just looked down and I spotted this little guy right here. Look at how pretty that little agate is. It's so cute. I love it. I snatched this one up super quick because I saw that. And after looking at it, right there looks like amethyst. And I flipped it over and we got bands right there. This is definitely going to be a really good cutter. So excited to see what's in there. I see what I think is a funky one. Looks like it's got good potential. Oh my gosh. Amethyst and bands. You've got to be kidding, that's sick. Oh, it's a little geode. Amethyst. I don't know if we'll be cutting that one. I'll have to think about it. That's a sweet Lake Superior agate. I think my favorite Lake Superior agates has got to be bands with that amethyst. That is sweet. What an awesome find. Well, since I started looking in this more shallow water, I am finding more stuff. This is a nodule with quartz, a huge funky chunky piece, and then another little nodule. Sweet, we got at least enough to cut. So everything else from here on out that we find is just like a big bonus. So I'm super pumped. The lake provides. We got some more quartz and host rock, jasper. And I looked up here because I'm like, man, these rocks right up here, they're looking a little bigger than further down the beach, and I haven't turned around yet, and I see that. Right there. That is a limonite stained nodule. Agate nodule. For sure, I'm calling it, it's gonna be mossy. But that's awesome, our biggest agate of the day. That makes me so happy. All right, we got another handful here of potential good cutters. This is a sick nodule. I don't think there's gonna be any bands in it, but it's got like crystal impressions and stuff all over it. Woo! My hands are losing function because they are so cold. Couple of interesting cutters. I'm gonna head back down the beach and I'm gonna walk in this really shallow water here and see what the waves have been kicking up. That's where I found the best stuff. So I'm not gonna lie, the walk back through those shallow waters was pretty lame. So now that I'm done here, let's head back, sort through our finds, and figure out which ones we want to cut open. So I got all the ones that I'm going to be cutting and seeing what's hiding on the inside in this little bin right here. And we're going to be cutting it on my 6-inch saw. And I got it all filled up, ready to go. So let's get to cutting. We have our first few cuts now done, and I'm excited to see what's going on in there. And I haven't looked at any of them, and I just got a little bucket of water over here. We're gonna do all the reveals together. Oh, it just barely has any bands in that little guy. I wouldn't even say it has bands. It has like husk and quartz. It's more of a quartz nodule. This next one right here, it was a really hard cut, so I'm excited. Ooh, here. This I want to say is more of a moss agate. It's really unique, and it's got those little bands right in there, so it's just funky. Super funky. So I think this would be a really fun one to polish. It is going to have these holes and stuff in there, little character, but I think it'd be fun to polish. This one right here, I wasn't too sure. I won't look at it. I thought it was an agate when I was out on the hunt, and I don't think it is. It's a bunch of junk. I cut through it in like a second. So this one also wasn't too sure, and I went and cut it, and that's why. Ooh, I whipped through this and I thought, why did I whip through this so much? What in the world? I think that one's gonna get polished for sure. Those are some really nice crystals in there. How did I not see that pocket right there? This guy, and then we got this guy right here. It almost looks like it has some purple in there, like a little amethyst. It was a very, very, very hard cut, so I have high hopes for it. Oh, that is just super, super interesting. I mean, you can see the agate goodness going on in there. Just not quite what I thought. I'm probably not going to polish it, but it's still really pretty. And then this was that really funky nodule that I was kind of excited to see what's going on in there, to see if this is worth picking up, because I find stuff like this all the time. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, it's worth finding... grabbing, bringing home and cutting. Check out those sweet bands in that paint agate. Oh, that is awesome. It's got so much natural like fractures and stuff in there though. We'll see if we get through the polishing process with it. I will try my absolute best. That is so sweet. Pink and orange pastel paint agate. Love it. That's awesome. This is what we have up next. We'll do the same thing. We'll cut, I won't look, and I will show you when we're all done. Low grade quartz nodule. Not gonna polish it. Jeez, that is not what I expected from that one. Total junk. Let's just get into one good one. Total mess going on in there. These little ones, they're fun. They're fun to cut and see what's going on the inside like that. That's really, really pretty. It's got this quartz nodule up top, and then it's like little agate details going on in here and some really phenomenal depth as well. So I'm going to polish this one so that we can get a closer look at that, because that's super pretty. I'm excited about this guy. I kind of gave it a funky cut. Oh, well. Never mind. I was excited. This batch is a little bit lighter than the other one. Even that, like, I mean, I saw the quartz in there. Quartz runs in pretty deep. I'm hoping for bands and stuff. Not much going on with that. This one, I had no idea where to cut it. I saw some of these little bands and stuff running through here, so I thought we'll just cut it like that. So, oh, it's so light. It does have some bands right here. I thought for sure it would run deeper than that. So this guy, one that we found, I think I was blinded by the yellow, and I'm looking at it now because I was like inspecting out where to cut. It's got this coloring and this pitting and everything, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this isn't an agate nodule at all. It's gonna move right on into this cut right here. I'm 100% sure that this is a moss agate. It has signs and everything that it is. So this one will be a hard cut. This will be our hardest cut. This is like the truest agate that we found. For good size, so I am excited about this. I'm sure it's going to be a very pretty moss agate. Definitely an agate. That was a hard cut. Oh, yep, you can kind of see as we have it wet here now, all the mossiness and everything going on in there. I bet it is just a big old mossy mess on the inside. Oh, slider, let's check it out. Super duper mossy. Oh my goodness, that is gonna be really fun to polish. This is my favorite one. I think that is gorgeous. Check this out. Zoom in on that. Look at how pretty that is. Really, really pretty. Mosses, especially like this is like limonite stained moss. How gnarly is that? Absolutely gonna polish that. random stuff. This is what we find in the field. That's how the day went exactly, and this is how the cutting goes. So when it comes to polishing, you may have found a bunch of stuff, cut a bunch of duds, and you look at everything that you're like, oh, this is what's worth polishing. That's it. That's how it goes. That's real. So we're going to get going with this and polish all of these on my Cap King. So if you're a frequent viewer, you may know my polishing setup and the entire process of how that goes, but if not and you're new, let me tell you how it all works. We have to start off on the 220 grit wheel to grind out any saw marks that we might have, and then we have to move on to the 280 black res wheel and work out the scratches from the 220 grit diamond wheel. Next we have to move on to the 600 grit res wheel, and there we work out the scratches from the 280 grit res wheel. I don't know if you're seeing a pattern here. Oh, and I have to say too, is in between the stages I also have to inspect the stones to make sure that they're looking good and we didn't miss any scratches from 2 stages prior, if that makes any sense. After the 600 grit res wheel, we then move on to the 1200 grit res wheel, and then after that we have to fill up our water bucket because I usually run out of water at this point. And then we move on to, if everything has gone well, the 3000 grit res wheel. Sometimes I wrap it up on this wheel, and for these stones I am only going as far as the 3000 grit res wheel. And that's pretty much the whole process. Just hang out with me in my fake grass for a few minutes as I lay on the flat floor and help my back. I'm so sore. I got all of those polished except 2 of them. That kind of weird jasp agate was an absolute stinker bean. Kept fracturing and stuff, and I just gave up on it. I was like, not today. I don't think it's any day with how much fracturing it has, but we got all of those polished. They look so awesome, and that moss agate turned out so phenomenal. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get some macro pictures of that because that looks so great. I'm gonna lay here for another minute or two, and then we will check all that out. Piece is right down here, and we will start off with the smallest, this guy right here. Turned out pretty cool, and if I zoom in a little bit and get the dog hair off of it, you can see it does have some pretty sweet depth in there. It's just hiding in the quartz. This one was a bit hard to hold, and it kind of ate up my fingers. Sorry about that. Here is that sweet geode nod. Oh gosh, what would you call this? A little quartz nodule? Geode? I don't know. There's amazing crystals inside this piece. Took a really good polish. Quartzes, as you may see, is a little pitty and can be a little hard to polish at times, but I really love this. Really cool. And our fun little paint agate took an awesome polish. It's got the fragmented membrane. That's this kind of weird funky stuff going on right here, and then the paint bands in there. The little one took a really great polish and is better than the larger side because this side has a natural fracture running all the way through it. Took a good polish, but that's kind of the blemish on that side. And now my favorite find of the hunt, favorite cut and favorite polish, the amazing moss agate. I love this so much that I am going to keep 1/2 of this for my collection. I'm really excited about it because this is so beautiful. Let me get a little bit of light on that. How much better does that look? Yeah, I'm going to keep 1/2 of these. The rest of these and one of these I am going to be posting on my Etsy store, and as of this video, first come first serve. But yeah, these took a great polish. They have extremely minimal pitting from the mossiness. Like, it very rich in silica. It's so beautiful. I am going to get a few macro pictures like I said earlier. Hopefully They turn out okay, but the mossiness in this is just ridiculous. It is so pretty. I don't know if I've ever cut a better moss agate, seen anything like this. This is so great. Best one I've ever polished. I'm really, really happy with how that one turned out.